Hello viewers. One of the big racing games at E3 was WRC 7. We saw great improvement from WRC 5 to WRC 6, and again in the trailer WRC 7 looks to be heading in the right direction. I caught up with Alain, the game director, to find out more. Hello viewers, well now we're on to WRC 7. I'm joined by Alain, who's the game director for WRC 7. Thanks very much for sparing the time today. So we're seeing of course a bit of WRC 7 here in action on the PS4 version. It's a title that's seen a great evolution over the past few years. I think you had sort of a miracle job essentially to turn around the first game, and every year we've seen great improvements. So moving on to WRC 7, what are the biggest improvements fans can look forward to?
It's the level design that have changed a lot, because this year we've got the new cars, regulation have changed this year. We've got the 2017 cars, more power, more agility. In comparison with what we've got the previous year. So we've got to adapt also all the level design to those new cars, and we want it to be more realistic also. So we changed all the roads have been changed. You tried it, you have seen that it's more bumpy, more twists, it's more realistic, the borders are closer. So we changed mainly all the level design of the game, and we changed also the handling of the cars. So everything has been enhanced and changed for this WRC 7.
Well, I've noticed a lot more detail in terms of the foliage in general detail. Everything's a bit bigger in terms of scale, and it's a bit closer. I mean, it seems to be a miracle that you guys can turn around this sort of mileage, if you like, in a year in terms of these stages. What else can we look forward to that's in the full game?
In terms of level design and the countries, it's the official game of the World Rally Championship. So you have 13 countries, and we change also in terms of the specials. We have special stages. Like the previous year, we have super special stage at the 1/1 scale stages, and this year we've introduced the epic stages that stages more than around 20 kilometers and between 15 and 20 minutes of gameplay. That's something that was asked by players. They wanted to focus on a long play in the rally experience, so that's what we made this year. So you can expect at 15 minutes of driving in WRC 7 on every country. That's one of the new features of the game. Oh
wow! Okay, so we've got the extended stages everybody wants. That's going to be a huge challenge. Look forward to that. Going back to the physics at the moment, seems to be quite a lot in terms of changes. We've got a lot more in the way of throttle response now. We've got a different feel on gravel, different feel on tarmac. Tell me a bit about the difference in physics that players are going to actually feel now.
It's been totally remade. In fact, all the tweakings and parameters have been done from scratch, especially for the WRC 2017. This year, new cars, it's a new specification, so we have to make it from scratch. So everything was remade to make them more agile and to feel the difference between those cars this year and the cars last year. So everything has been retweaked and remade for it.
Brilliant.
I think you felt the difference when you drive it on the wheels. And we started to tweak it on the wheel, and then we changed. We make heads to be playable with the pad, but this year the approach is to get the simulation and the dynamics from a wheel experience. Well, I've changed many things.
Well, my first impression of the wheel very positive. It was very challenging. I noticed excellent throttle response now on the different surfaces. You really do have a lot more control there, so it's very interesting to see the amount of depth that you guys have brought into it. Still very, very challenging indeed. It's nice to see, obviously, the improvement in graphics that we've seen every year. I know, the graphics in WRC 5 were poor and they were somewhat disappointing, and now we've moved to much better level of graphics and new audio as well. Tell us a bit about that. We have new audio for all the new cars.
Yes, obviously we changed. We have to make the audio from scratch also for the new cars. So we have a global pass on everything in terms of audio for WRC 7 also.
What about esports? Do we have anything for esports separate in the game?
This is something that we've got from WRC 7, 5 and 6. And it's something that is very interesting and people really love it. So in the 5 we've got the esports challenge, with all selection and a final and people can have the chance to win a proper car, a real car.
Yeah.
It was a i20 of a value of 20,000 euros.
Yeah,
which is huge.
yeah, I remember.
So
yeah.
we continue on this one. We've got changed the format on eSport this year on WRC 6, and we will also have the WRC 7. eSport competition will be an important part also of the game. So
Well,
we keep this,
yeah.
we keep the weekly challenge like we've done before, and every weekend when it's the actual rally, we've got the eSport competition at the same time in the game.
Okay, well, I look forward to seeing how the eSport. I mean, everyone's talking eSports now; it's a buzzword, but I think the thing that's not clear is what each game actually needs in it to run eSports properly and what that actually means. So in terms of options or anything else that's new in the game. So I look forward to exploring that. Well, listen, Alain, thanks very much for your time today. I have to say, impressed again with the yearly improvements, and I look forward to testing it some more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. So certainly WRC 7 is coming along nicely. It's one of my games of the show, in fact. It's one of my top 3 games of the show. The control was instant, really good throttle response, really enjoyed the handling from the off, and it's probably one of my favourite rally games I've played in a long time. I really enjoyed the tactile feeling, and it felt very natural and intuitive to me. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this goes down later this year. If they can get the frame rate right, get rid of the stuttering that we had on the previous versions, if they can pull it together with the new physics, I think you've got a really great new rally game on your hands, and I think that this could be one that's going to sort of mix it up a bit. It's not going to be for everybody. I mean, there are still going to be those that like their dirt and stick with dirt, but certainly for me, I had more fun playing this than I have on dirt, to be fair. I found the traction, the way it was working. I mean, this was my first go playing the game, and I immediately understood the handling and the feel for it. Now, I know a lot of people in the comments are moaning about the co-driver. I mean, yes, he is a bit robotic, but to be fair, his calls were on point, and I was just listening to his calls and doing the driving, and that was all it was for me. The font thing, I'll highlight that with the developers, but yeah, other than that, I thought it was great fun and really enjoyed it. So certainly another huge step forward for WRC we're looking forward to, but still a lot of work to be done on the game, and I look forward to testing future builds and seeing some of the other locations and some of the challenge of some of these longer courses as well, which do sound very exciting. So that's it for WRC 7. I look forward to playing it more. Certainly this could be one of the sort of the silent hits of the year in a very busy year of racing titles, and we look forward to seeing how it turns out. But that's it from me for now. Leave you with the last bit of gameplay here in the background. You can check these videos out on the channel, of course, and there'll be more from me very soon.